Tim Mander is the referee. He's had a very good start to the year too, Tim. So Newcastle from right to left. It's been billed as one of the games of the year. Round 5 clash. Paul Horton joining us in the commentary box. Phil Gould will join Peter Sterling at half-time and full-time as Webke is put away on his own 20-metre line. Now for Sivan Asiva. The Broncos with no Kevin Walters. The Walker brothers will take them around the park. Brad Thorne. Pritters then going back for the kick. And Lockyer is there. He has to scoot around the number 9 who came through for charge down. And eventually Peden made the tackle. But Danny Badeiras put a lot of pressure on Lockyer. They were going for the kick on an early tackle, and so they had one up their sleeve. And that's the one that's been returned by Robbo Davis. Mark Hughes, centre partner for Matthew Gidney. Badeiras then away onto the right of the ground for David Fairley, who came up with some excellent figures, according to Warren Ryan, figures that he has not seen too many the like of as a coach. Talking of David's performance, I think it was a fortnight ago. Peter Shields. Now for Andrew, and now for Mark Hughes. He puts a little drop punt down onto the 10-metre line where it finds the touch line. Fairley accepting an inside ball from Andrew Johns, and that takes them just into Brisbane's half. As Andrew now puts it high, and a lot of time for the Newcastle chase. Mark Hughes was down there. Lockyer bounced off McDougall, and McDougall will be called out. Was there a hint of an elbow in the what looked like a shoulder charge? Let's go to Tim Mander.
You've hit the tackle higher. You've hit him high. There's not 100% sure the point of contact. We're going to put that on report. Okay, it was a high shot.
Well, from where we sat, it just looked like a good, strong charge into Lockyer. Not a big man, Lockyer. And McDougall is a very strong player, and he has lifted the elbow. He's raised his elbow, and he's got him right under the chin. So that is on report.
They really are going to be a bit of a commentator's nightmare, the Walker brothers, but nothing's new. The Max from Canberra were very testing as the Broncos get a penalty. And well within kicking range. It's only about 37 metres out, almost in front.
Yes, you would imagine Ben Walker would step up to the plate. He's kicked 11 from 12 this season, a 92% strike rate, so he's hitting the ball beautifully. And another play the ball infringement with the hand of the tackler on the football.
Ben Walker, wearing number 7, playing at 5/8. It's on its way. It's coming back, and the flags go up. First points in the game. Brisbane leading Newcastle after 5 minutes, 2-0. Tallis already laying the foundation for another fine game. Tahu is on for the Knights for McDougall, and a penalty goes to Brisbane. 3-1 the penalties to the home side.
Yeah, inside the 10 there, but I've got to say, I've been watching the 10 metres from Tim Mander. It's a very, very big one that he's looking to employ. We'll keep an eye on that for the rest of this half, and see if we can get some evidence of what I'm talking about as Tony Carroll
to the 10-metre line. So Brisbane gets this chance to the blind side. Wide as it is. De Vere. Ben Walker. Brad Thorne. Back to the centre. Where's Lockyer? He's back on the blind side. Here's Tallis. He's over. Under the black dots. The rampaging bull has done it again. Beautiful play.
He's unstoppable, Gordon Tallis, in the frame of mind we've seen him in the last month. Got to say, some really lazy defence. There was quite a big hole there, and Robbie O'Davis was the man who had to come up in the line to try and close it up, and that was a mismatch if ever you've seen one.
Well, it was lazy and extremely soft, very soft, and McGordon's having an outstanding season. This is the best I think he's ever played, Gordon Tallis. Just brilliant stuff, powerful, he's so strong. And, I mean, I remember back in the St George days when he played for them, he used to do this all the time, but he's going better now.
Ben Walker will convert from right in front. The Broncos are now leading by 8 points to 0. The Broncos by 8 points. Sivanasiva. Pritis is passed away for Lockyer. Lockyer in behind Robbie O'Davis. Ring of defence out there waiting for him.
Yeah, the crowd's booing. Lockyer copped one late, and he's still down. Once again, nothing done.
Play by Albert. Shields. Lockyer still down. Matthew. Adam McDougall. Johns works away at the narrow side, a very narrow corridor. Now he spins it for Andrew Johns, who kicks, and the Broncos are there equal to it, with Shane Walker snatching it in. Halftime siren sounding during the play. One try. Darren Lockyer still receiving some attention. Nothing was done. Here's what happened.
Well, you have to question whether he was committed to the tackle. I think it was Billy Peet. It looked like he was for mine. The other question is, how high was it? And from that angle, it's hard to tell. Might have got him on the shoulder, but he is down and he's very groggy.
Well, there he is walking from the park now. One try in the game. Scored by Gordon Tallis. Ben Walker successful with 2 kicks at goal. The Broncos lead Newcastle 8-0 after 40 minutes. Referee Tim Mander blowing time on. Second half. Brisbane right to left. And O'Davis looks for a forward runner, finds Butterfield. This is Parsons. Newcastle are content to work it away. Not for long, though, before they put it through the hands, and Mark Hughes is tackled. Now, Andrew Johns taking it down into Brisbane territory. So they've come away on the back of a few tackles, and they've gone 60 metres. Newcastle, that's 5. Andrew Johns on the short side. A kick that he gets to go back into the middle of the park. And out to the 20, marked on the full-in goal. So Brisbane have thrown a forward pass to the Brisbane 40-metre line. Third tackle. Matthew Johns piling on some speed and taking a big tackle from Brad Ford. Andrew, runners around him, goes to the extremity for Darren Albert. Got it in. Gidley gets it further in. Andrew puts it on for David Fairley. Fairley down for Matthew Johns. One-handed for Andrew. Across and back for Darren Albert. Albert beats one, tries to slide through another. 5 tackles gone. 12 away from the line. Andrew Johns. High, wide, and it'll be a try unless Sailor holds him up. Mender wants to look at it. It is Adam McDougall on the far side of the ground.
Yeah, he's celebrating. He knows it's a try. And I'll tell you what, one winger scored it, but somehow the other winger has enabled them to keep the football. Darren Albert got a miraculous pass away. He was headed to the grandstand, but he slipped it back in. And then a couple of tackles later from an Andrew Johns kick, Adam McDougall has planted the football down. And the Knights, well, that has got to lift them.
The green light is there. Mander had the option, by the way. This man was tackled in midair anyway. It was going to take a Herculean effort by Sailor to stop this try, Paul.
Yeah, it was, and you've got to say, I reckon this brings them back to about even Stevens now, because they both had very good games. Wendell's probably had just the touch better, but McDougall beat him to this one. Lovely kick from Andrew Johns once again. That's the second kick he's put up in a couple of minutes to Wendell Sailor's wing. On that occasion, McDougall reigned supreme.
7 metres in from touch on the western side. Here it comes, and it's wide. Flags down. 8 points to 4. The Broncos over the Knights. 10 minutes gone, second half.
The support play really starting to pick up for Newcastle now, despite this one outrun by Simpson. They are starting to get through with the man with the football. Here's a good run up the short side from Badiris. Tries to bounce out of one, but takes it over the halfway.
Hughes. Offloading from dummy half for O'Brien. Starting to make some inroads, Newcastle. Now Matthew combines with his brother and then with Robbie O'Davis. Butterfield. They work the short side for Matthew to kick it back onto the open. High. And a chance. More than a chance. Is he going to call it back? He puts it over the line. McDougall's gone in for what he thinks is number 2. And he's confident.
Eddie?
I'm just wondering whether a Brisbane player was interfered with in trying to catch the football.
Okay, they're in the...
And that's what the video referee will look at.
And it was well past him, you have to admit. But still, he was tackled mid-air or knocked out of the...
You'd have to say that Peden has played the man and not the ball. Yeah. And there it is.
You know what? This will be called back, I reckon.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it'll be... What about this? Great work from Mark Hughes. Lovely flick pass, but I do think that Ben Ikin was impeded in his attempt to catch the football. And that's the penalty.
Yeah, there it is. Eddie Ward is the man on the video tonight. And I recall a similar incident at, I think it was Shark Park the other night, where a player was just slightly interfered with, but the ruling went against the team claiming the try. I don't think Bill Peden really had much of an effect on Ben Ikin, but that really is not relevant. What is relevant, that he broke the rules.
Yeah, Bill Peden was not trying to catch the football at all.
That's exactly right, Peter. He broke the rules. Now Peden penalised, and Brisbane back to the halfway line with Carroll. They come in a wave now. Campion. Just been a little bit lethargic since the break, the Broncos. Shane Walker for Darren Lockyer, for Ben Ikin. Here comes Wendell, running into Adam McDougall. McDougall takes the ball off him. There's a foot race on. McDougall by 2 metres. McDougall's got 10 to go. McDougall goes in. That's try number 2, and they won't take that off him.
No, they won't take that one off Adam McDougall. And won't he get some satisfaction out of that? Ripping the ball out of Wendell Sailor's arms, running 95 metres. He was denied only a minute ago. But there's no disputing this one. And just when again the Broncos were starting to look dangerous, a one-on-one tackle, and McDougall goes to length. Make it 90 metres.
Yeah, it's great stuff by McDougall, and he has slipped ahead in that race now. The Sailor-McDougall clash, it was brilliant stuff. Benny Ikin running the football, that's good to see. The inside ball, good defence too from the Knights. They forced him into this inside ball and had it covered all the way. And Wendell and McDougall got into a wrestling match. They were going nowhere, either of them, and McDougall think, hang on a minute, I can get this. And he reefed it out of his hands and got the head down.
And away he goes.
Yeah, there wasn't much left in the tank, was there? But it was all that was needed. Both the tries tonight for the Knights. He's done a great job at fullback in the last couple of weeks. But back to what you think is his preferred position. Phil Gould has just pointed out that Wendell Sailor has beaten so many tackles in that fashion. Not tonight.
Andrew offline again. Goal kicking, keeping the Broncos abreast of Newcastle. 8 points all, 1 hour gone almost. Andrew. looking more and more confident. Matthew, across. Albert's going to get a jump on it. It came back and down. Newcastle's over, but they couldn't get it down. Or could they? Question mark.
The ball's held up. Okay, the ball... We'll just check that, actually.
Well, the referee's decided to just make sure 100% that Matthew Gidley was held up. But it will still be a Newcastle possession.
What we saw in actuality suggested that he didn't get it done. There's enough Broncos there to stop an armada.
Nah, 1,000,000 to 1.
A Bronco arm sufficiently under the ball when it disappeared from our view. So the bottom left-hand corner ref's call, and Tim Mander held up in goal. He preempted that. Buderis now away for Andrew Johns and then for Matthew. Dummied inside, gave it outside.
Oh, he's lost it and he's hurt here, Darren Albert. They've stopped play immediately. So that might be Mark Hughes, is it?
I think it's Adam
It's
McDougall.
Adam McDougall. Oh.
Gee. Really fell awkwardly, and it looks like the neck injury.
Well, I hadn't even realised that he was back on. And his first touch since going back into the fray. Seen a very nasty collision and an awkward fall.
There's Gidley heading back to the sheds. I think Adam's going to be okay. There seems to be movement in all the limbs and the neck. And he's being taken away on the ambulance. We will endeavour to get something official on Adam McDougall as soon as we can, and certainly before the end of the telecast. Gidley has come back from the sheds as Parsons is tackled, and Gidley getting some movement into that injury.
Yeah, great sign there for the Knights. And what about Matt Parsons tonight? He's just had a blinder in my book. He's taken the ball forward. In the first half, he wasn't getting any support. He's just kept it going in the second half, having a great game.
27,000 people here at ANZ Stadium tonight as Matthew Johns away from Mark Hughes. Mark Hughes, he's going to do it. He's done it. He's over the line for another try.
Wonderful stuff there from the Newcastle back line. The Johns brothers, they try and throw long passes to put the man receiving it on the outside of the defender. And that's exactly what Matthew Johns was able to do here. He gets the ball now, and as we freeze it, you can see nearly obscured on the other side is the Brisbane defender. Hughes is able to get outside him from the pass. The quality of the pass as play continues. He came too far in field, Tony Carroll. He couldn't regroup. And Mark Hughes, great pace, carries Lockyer over the line.
Yeah, Paul Reading in defence there from the Brisbane Broncos. Mistake made, and they paid the penalty. The passing games of the Johns boys are the best I think anyone's ever seen. They can do anything they want with the football, put it anywhere they want. And Mark Hughes, the recipient there of a beautiful pass, straight into some fresh air, and away he went. Both of the centres tonight have had great games.
It is 12-8. Andrew 5 in from touch. On its way, on its way. It is delightful for red and blue. 6 points the margin. The Knights are in front of the Broncos. 17 out from the Newcastle line. The Knights lead by 6, but the Broncos are not going away. Inside ball, Lockyer puts it down.
Tackle coming across on Darren Lockyer.
From Simpson, was it? Or Peter?
Nah, Simpson.
And it was Simpson on Lockyer. Just for a moment I thought he might have been tackled without the ball, but that replay said no. Peter Shields knocked down by Tallis. A handball effect. Back to Hancock. Inside the 30-metre line. Newcastle again under pressure. Shane Walker, Ben Ikin, Shane Walker, Tony Carroll. 19 out from the Newcastle line. Then Ben Ikin, now Ben Walker, and he spins in the Shields tackle, and Andrew Johns cleans him up. That's where they are. 20 metres out in front of the uprights. Ben Ikin back, a one-hander from Priddis. And the Broncos will be playing the ball 10 metres out. Priddis goes for a run. Put the head down. Dane Carlaw is out there in 14 for the Broncos.
Numbers
tackle. It's from Ben Walker. Tahoe! Brings it down.
Well, I'll tell you what, if the kick had been a couple of metres higher over Tahu's head, Wendell Sailor was on the fly. They've lost it. Peden lost it.
Let's have a look. This was the kick. Wendell was praying for a higher kick, and then we watch this. And he has lost it, Billy Peden. Open side play. Ikin for Lockyer. Lockyer sprinting. Lockyer pulled down a metre from the line. Who made that tackle? It was a beauty.
It was Robbie O'Davis. It was.
Takiri.
Matthew Gidley's gone.
Now it's back with Ben Ikin. Newcastle defending like they've never defended before. It's across for Walker. Then to his brother Shane. Now for Tallis. Tries to get outside them, but the defence scrambles. Big Sailor for Shane Walker, for Ben Ikin on the 10-metre line. Down he goes again on 5. And then a rolling ball. Tim Mander will give a try.
Well,
who got it? It was De Vere.
De Vere scores. Danny Medeiros made the mistake. He lost control of the football. But that's a penalty for the last 3 times they've had possession coming off their line, and they've made mistakes early in the count. The kick wasn't a good one. It was cleaned up comfortably by Danny Medeiros, but can you believe he lost it?
Michael De Vere, the try scorer for the record.
Yeah, some good play from the Broncos. Benny Ikin's been heavily involved the last 3 sets of 6. Moved into the 5/8 role. He's played well. But there you go. Medeiros had it, lost it. 4-pointer for the Broncos. We're in for a big finish here.
What a beauty for Brisbane. What a way to finish a great part of the game. You had to sing the praises of the Newcastle defence.
Well, they were really struggling on this side. Sorry, Paul, because Matthew Gidley, he couldn't run, so they had to get a replacement out. Troy Fletcher went on. He was actually on the wing.
Boys, that tackle that Robbie O'Davis made on Lockyer was one of the best you'll ever see.
And he had to make that tackle, Paul, because Matt Gidley he was out of the play. He stopped, and the gap opened up.
This is for a locked-up situation again. 14-12, they're down the Broncos. Ben Walker's kick looks good. The flags are up. Brisbane are level again. 6 to go. Packing as Matt Parsons makes a return. Tallis out of the back of the scrum. Lockyer's broken them. Lockyer's away. Lockyer will score. Puts the seal on the game. Tallis broke from the scrum. Stello preempted it earlier. Watch for Tallis break from the back of the scrum. He did that. He made an extra number on the right side. Newcastle couldn't counter. And this very, very special talent was away.
Yeah, Robbie O'Davis just couldn't pick him up from the inside. A nice blindside set play, and we've seen exactly the same thing that happened last week against the Sharks. 2 late tries is going to earn a victory and keep them unbeaten, the Brisbane Broncos.
Yeah, it was great stuff, brilliant stuff. Tony Carroll's got the arms up, but it was man-on-man defence.
Walker with the conversion. Flags go up again. The crowd goes up again. Just over 27,000 of them. Inside the last minute. Gee, we can take some memories of this game away, though. The Sailor-McDougall clash.
I think it's been the best game we've seen all season, no doubt about it. It's just been fantastic. So many heroes out there for both sides tonight. Robbie O'Davis, the Johns boys, McDougall, they all play well. Matty Parsons for the Knights, and for Brisbane, well, just about all of them. Lockyer, Takiri had a big game. Benny Eichen played his part in the second half. The Walker boys, Wendell. The list goes on. Gordon Tallis kept his form going. And it's been a tremendous game here.
The crowd counting it out. Siren. Newcastle and Tahu, or was it no, Fletcher. He passed to the right, hoping somebody would be there, but the touch judge said, I couldn't possibly run that far. Good game. Mistakes, of course, but there has to be. When the body contact has been like it has tonight, and as one would probe and the other would counter, obviously you're going to have some mistakes. 20 points to 14. Gee, I hope you enjoyed this one.